makes a curve using the control tool. So if I start clicking, so basically it's making a curve according to the control points. So if I just finish it like that, it made the curve according to the control points. You may say, what are the control points? If we just select this curve and say points on, we can see all of the control points. Points on, points on. We can see all of the control points, and we can start manipulating our curve however way we want. So basically, they are what determines how the curve will shape and how it will curve. And using this tool, you can make a curve according to the. Whenever you click, it will make a curve according to that point as a reference to it being a control point. But I'm going to show a way better way to make a curve. How I make a curve. If I just click on exit, I'll exit the command and delete that. Okay. So this way I find it way better to make a curve. How it's used is it's the same, but instead of using the control points as a reference, it will use it to go through the curve. So it's, I think, way more easier because let's say I want to make a curve like this, like something like this. I can easily just click and I can manipulate where I want the curve to go. So I think it's a way better option to use something like this, as you can see. If we go to the third option, let's say what happens if we have something like this and we want it to make a surface. So if we have a closed curve, which right now I closed my curve because it went all the way round, how would I make this a surface? For actually, it's pretty easy. I just learned it 3 weeks ago, and I used it so many times. You just press on it, and you see this tab over here, the surface tab. If we just left click and continuously left click, we'll see all the different stuff. If you click on surface from planar curves, it will straight away make this a surface, or whatever thing you have which is closed. And let's say we want to extrude this surface, we just say solid, extrude surface, and we want it to go straight. And here you can write how high it will go and everything. And let's say we just want it up here. We make a shape like this. And okay, let's say we've got this down, and what is this third one? So this is to make a curve on top of a surface. And how we would do this is we would just press and make a curve like this on top of whatever surface we would like, and just press enter. So then we would have a curve on top of whatever surface or wall or whatever we want. So this would be really useful if you were making a curve on top of, let's say you want to cut a hole, or you want to make a door which is all curve length. So you can use this tool and it can be really helpful. Let's delete all of this. Let's delete the curve. So what does this one do? This is, let's say we have a curve, something like this. Let's say we have a curve, and then we press enter. This is basically, for what I found, is it's a good way to just continue the curve in a subtle way, you know. So if we press on the end, and this is this thing, how it's growing is basically how long you want it to be, how long do you want it to stretch and curve. So let's say we want it to curve like this, we just press here, and then we can end it like this. So if I say enter, I just find it a good way to complete a curve, or if you have like one curve you have to make, it's a good way of manipulating it. But I don't see myself using this tool, but I just show. So the next one is, this is a pretty cool tool here. So the fifth one over here is basically sketches you a curve. So you can just sketch any curve. Let's say we want to make a curve something like this. You can just sketch it, and it will automatically straighten the curve up for you. I find this really useful. Like it's really easy to use. So let's say we want to have a pool, something like this, or we're doing an architecture project. We can just press on it and then go around, and we have a shape like this. Yeah, and it will smoothen that out and make it a curve for you. And it's really easy to use. You just left click and continuously left click on from there. It's really easy and an amazing tool to use. Okay, the fourth one. So this is to sketch on a 3D object. So you could use this if you made a sphere or a box or whatever, something like this. You can, it's the same as what I showed, like you make a 3D object or you make a wall or whatever, and let's say you want to make a curve on top of it, but instead of that you can sketch your curve. So if you're just dealing with a 3D object or a surface and you want to make a curve and you want to sketch on it, I can quickly show an example, but this video is going to be way too long, so I'll just not show it, but I could quickly show it, I guess. So let's say I make a triangle and I make this in the surface, so we just press here, we say this, and it becomes a surface, and I want to sketch a curve on top of this. There you go, we have our curve, and it's actually a really useful thing to use. So it's basically the same as this, but it's for the sketch tool. The other one is quite interesting. So let's say we make a polyline like this, and we want to make a curve out of this polyline. We just click on it and we click on this one, and as you can see, according to the polyline I made, it will make a curve. This is really cool because I can change this to interportional, and it will get the edges as a point and use that for it. So I could see this being quite useful, because if it's very strategic and you planned everything according to polylines and you want to make it a curve, you could just press on it, click there, and it could be a curve, and according to that you would change how it curves and how it does everything. So this next one. So this next tool is again another way of making a curve, another interesting way of making a curve. Maybe you could use it, maybe you won't, but I'll teach it. So you basically make two polylines. You make two lines, and according to that, it will make a curve in between them. So let's say I want to make two lines like this. You see, it will make a curve using these as their references, using the two polylines you make as their references. So if we do it again, we make two lines up or down, and we just choose. So I mean, this could be really useful. Like, imagine you have like a path like this and you want it to go specifically to, let's say, this direction, you know, like a curvy path or something, and you could just use it to make your curve more accurately. The starting point would be there, the finishing point would be there, and the curve will depend on your second point which you've chosen.